This is the Afghanistan of my dreams. Malik Hamilton, a minoritarian traditionalist. He only cares that religion plays no role and that we discriminate against women. What a gentleman. Man, look at that pocket, huh? Nice pocket. Nice pocket. Hello and welcome everybody, I'm Bankrupt, and today we're going to jump into this playthrough right here. You can see we are Pakistan. I have gotten the save. It is a disaster save, and I'll be honest with you, I think this was played by one of the worst players out there. I don't want to leak any email addresses or real life names, you know, that kind of stuff. We're just gonna say moron. The moron that played this made it so that, well, you guessed it, this is almost unrecoverable. They clearly were just playing to get the achievement and then hit it and quit it. If you didn't know this, then this might be pretty interesting for you to know. The fact that if you form Afghanistan as Kafiristan, so the valley of the heathens, then you will be Hindu, which is super interesting and makes it so that we could eat a ton of India right here and not really suffer any consequences. Is this what we're going to do? Well, let's just try to come out of the situation that we're currently in. But alright, before we do anything else, let's just cheat a little bit. Malik Josiah Harlan right here, yep, that is right, has an heir that is not actually his son. I'm going to get rid of that dear fella, there he goes, and now that we are generating a new heir, it will actually be an American Yankee with, of course, Protestant beliefs, which I think is pretty funny. Afghanistan has indeed become Ameristan. Now, what isn't funny is the situation that we're in. So we are currently, which is pretty neat, under an intelligentsia government, thanks to Josiah Harlan here. Well, you know, he is, of course, an intelligentsia. This means, as far as I'm concerned, that over the next few years before we go bankrupt, and trust me, we will be going bankrupt, I will do my best to push through a couple of great laws so that we can then, of course, you know, get rid of the landowners altogether. I think for starters, we're going to go against serfdom right here. I really just want something that completely annihilates the landowners. I'm even fine with homesteading. I think we don't really want that much migration, if especially you can blob into India. So I think we're going to go for homesteading here, making people very angry, and if they do rebel, let's see whether we can win this. Now, before they pop up with the actual revolution though, let me make my army smaller, because I can tell you one thing, and that is that I cannot sustain this army. So let's take a quick look at this. We got line infantry, we also have a ton of irregular infantry, let's just get rid of this, then some skirmish infantry, and I think we can even reduce these folks here. I really want to be lean. Not that we can actually do all that much anytime soon. I need to build up our economy before we do anything else. An invasion of India is out of the question in that regard. So let's just go ahead and actually kind of break the back of the armed forces here, if I may, and we'll go from there. Now, obviously, financially, this doesn't save us. We are still deep in the hole, which ultimately is okay. We are mostly getting our losses here from interest, and do keep in mind that we are collecting zero regular taxation. Right now, it would of course just be land-based taxation, which is really bad. We don't have a big economy or anything, but I can tell you right now that, yeah, even this won't save us. We are looking at a situation where, well, we're gonna go bankrupt because the interest is just too much. If you are unrecognized, as we currently are, then interest payments are the devil. And like I said, whoever was playing this prior to me here is, well, yeah, they just went for the achievement and then dipped. But of course, we're not going to let them do this to us. I'm going to delete our construction sectors, don't want to pay for any of this. We are going to fix Afghanistan. This is real-time nation building right here. Let's pick up some of these in Herat. We gotta see how long we can do this for until we go bankrupt. Once we take some taxation, I think I'm going to run it up to the maximum, just so that we can build for as long before we go bankrupt. That's kind of the entire idea here, I think. Now, if you were to ask me, do you want to join any power block? I kind of think I would like the Russians, although, yeah, vassalization is really bad. The Brits are not any better, although, man, I do like all of this stuff right here. Actually, it's not that great for us even to begin with. Either way, what we're looking at are basically two power blocks that we don't gain all that much from if we were to become their vassals. So let's try to avoid this as we go. Right, and before we unpause, sadly, I have to tell you that I cannot form Pakistan because we are not actually Sunni. Meaning, I have no meaningful formable. We're not forming Turkestan. That is a ridiculous premise. I do like the idea that I don't have to be a Sunni or, you know, Shia or anything like that right here. Yeah, not gonna happen though. We are going to remain Pakistan, I'm afraid. I think they actually changed something, right? It's like 25% of people minimum now become radicalized if you go bankrupt. So this is gonna hit us incredibly hard. They made this way more punishing, which is good for me as a player. It makes it more interesting. But I'm also wondering, won't this completely devastate the AI? I feel like it will, but you know what? We're gonna find out. If I never recover this safe, well, it is a proper Afghanistan playthrough, isn't it? And look at that, we have something happening right here, the Fars Uprising. What are you? You are Shiite and Persian, so this is not really a minority thing. I would assume that this is largely a political thing, which is interesting. I mean, all things considered, either way, they're going to potentially become independent, and if they do, which is very unlikely now that I look at this, it would be pretty good. I don't think we're going to take any of our neighbors over anytime soon. I really only care for Makran and Kalat, who are already our vassals. Yeah, but Persia being weaker, that's a good thing. And look at who decided to show up and be an absolute dog. God, I hate this child already. Prince Hamilton Harlan. So he is a traditionalist. This is not a good heir. Given the fact that he is Yankee and Protestant, he's like, I really hated freedom. When I was in America, everything was wrong. Apparently, we're going back to the basics after our Malik dies, so let's hope that we pass homesteading relatively soon here. Alright, and let me check this. So, if you recall the last video, okay, hey, I played this save, of course, before. I am now playing this. We didn't really do all that much with the production methods right here. My thought mostly being we didn't need it, because we were just conquering, and, well, in reality, we didn't need it. But now that I look over this, so we, of course, okay, we're producing arms, we're producing artillery. That's actually pretty good. That means that we're making a good chunk of pocket change right there, and I think I'm going to privatize whatever I can. It's going to be forced privatized anyway, if we go bankrupt right here, which is interesting. I think you get like the full money paid, but yeah, that is interesting, no doubt. Let me just update this everywhere, and then we're going to see where that leaves us. I could also step up our management. My fear is just that this will put us way, way further into the red. Let me verify this right here, right? We are looking at 13.9k, okay, 14.2k. Yeah, the more we basically buy here in paper, of course, the worse it gets. And then we got a couple of import routes that we could do, but that would also make it so that we, of course, burn through our bureaucracy. It is a wicked, wicked cycle. But I gotta at least import some paper. I don't know whether that's ever gonna be enough. I don't think so. I might, like, devalue some of these down there, but I think that we care more about having actual taxation go on than, having no shortage here. Oh, and look at that. Circassia is going to go away very, very soon here, thanks to Russia. And I think we also now have to redo a couple of these. I mostly stepped up our social mobility because, of course, we were looking at a situation where I couldn't fill our armies, which isn't that important now anymore, all things considered, because for like the next 10 to 20 years, no more wars. The wars are all over. No more foreign wars, my friends. Let's go with service as well. That's literally nothing. I'm going to tax opium, and I think that might be it. Yeah, also real quick, just cancelling a couple of these routes here. Oh, and I'm just now noticing that somehow we got a couple more units in here. What the hell is happening in this country? I guess they are technically there, but aren't shown here, which is just awesome. I love that. We're also doing quite okay here with the money balance. We're not doing too poorly now that I've restored much of our taxation ability. But of course, again, I'm still kind of want to go for the bankruptcy right here. We'll see where we go from there. Now, as a quick tip, if you ever find yourself in this situation, and I don't know what it is now, in terms of how this functions, given the fact that they rebalanced it, and of course we roll very poorly, made bankruptcies worse, but I can tell you that in general, and this is driving me crazy. But in general, I can tell you that if you are an unrecognized nation, more often than not, if you are in this type of situation, it can make sense to just go bankrupt. Maybe primarily so, because it will just take... What the hell was that? You just gave up. Maybe primarily because it will make it so that if you don't do it, you're going to fight against the red here for far too long, whereas otherwise you can just reset it and, then start building. Going into the red as unrecognized, especially if you're not a major power, very bad. Very, very bad. See, it's kind of odd in terms of revolutions. So there is no movement that the Zamindars could support that specifically cares about homesteading. If you take a look at this doesn't care, and obviously the Persians don't care. I just don't know. I'm pretty sure right now this interest group is physically incapable of rebelling despite being at -20, which makes sense if they have no mass movement support, but there just currently isn't any movement. This was one of the big changes, of course, in 1.8. But on the other hand, I will also say that this takes a lot of the damage and danger that the Zamindars can do kind of just away. It's just gone. I'm not going to complain about it, but I just wanted to bring it up. It is kind of odd. Man, it is truly awful when you have this kind of 62% going on here, the stall chance. That is just horrendous. Okay, anyway. I've been playing a lot of Terra Invicta lately, by the way, privately. I was given that game, I checked it out, and I find it very interesting we have another stall event, because of course we do. How else could it be? I like that game. I think it's not material for the channel on like a primary basis just because it is so long, and I think there's so many stretches where nothing happens. I think it is more of a one campaign in one video type of edited video. Let me know if you would find that interesting. I think I love space and I love talking about what would happen if we met aliens. I have very strong opinions on that stuff. Let me know what you think, whether you would like to see that. Oh, let's go. That is huge. Oh my god. Okay, they were busting my behind here. We're gonna take a look at what else we can do. I obviously like this. I would much prefer dedicated police force. That's not really viable unless we have a petite bourgeoisie in government, which we don't and which we can't. Okay, we're gonna see how of course, the actual laws here change as we go, but I think for the time being, and until we were to get more Hindus, I think it would be wise to go with the racial segregation, if only to make this movement a bit happier. Let me check this. Oh, you're fine with racial segregation. Okay. I'm not sure whether there is a big difference between these laws now. Obviously, they changed it in the past. It basically did nothing most of the time. Right now, I'm not too certain we're gonna pass this. Oh, even if the intelligentsia hates it, that is okay. I really want the infrastructure. I love the boost that you can get from the rural folk, and more importantly, it makes this movement happy, which means, yeah, they don't do as much nonsense. And you know what? Let me actually take this in. We have 86% here at full acceptance. Who are the people that we actually discriminate against here? Are you exclusively Persians? So we got a couple of slaves, right? Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Obviously, they are very discriminated. Then we have people that were brought via slave trade and have since been emancipated. Interesting. And then the Persian Shiites. Okay, but that's not that many. That is 500k compared to 3.88 million, and they're gonna, of course, become happier the more restrictive we are. We are not at all discriminating. Actually, we are discriminating, but only barely here. Okay, and people would love total separations, so I think that's coming. I think that is coming. Okay, good to know. We're gonna place the petite bourgeoisie in here. Oh, I might want to cancel this law. Actually, let's try to push this through, but afterwards, I so desperately want to go for total separation. Having racial segregation makes the conservatives happy, and then we just don't discriminate against anybody based on religion, and all of Afghanistan will be happy. Alright, and the big issue is coming, by which I of course mean bankruptcy. It is on its way. Let me take a look at this. We would be positive, if not for the interest. So this is a good balance. I am willing to take it. The issue is, of course, that this will mean we're going to D-rank. It will mean that Kalat and Makran probably are going to become uppity. So yeah, we could try to annex you. It will, of course, make Makran worse. I think we will downgrade Makran first, then try to annex Kalat and hope that it all works out. Because then we only have Makran, of course, as a vassal of ours. How many Hindus live here? Nobody. Cool. We just need to get as much through our, well, Senate is the wrong word, but right, we need to do as much as we can before stupid little Hamilton here takes over. I hate this kid. Everybody hates this kid. Everybody's out there being like, this child is the worst child I've ever seen. He woke up and he hated serfs. Why does he do that? I don't know. I certainly do not understand. Now, other than that, what is happening here? The CSA is free, of course. Mexico is actually being attacked, and we might see a full USA plus the CSA, I suppose, which is pretty cool. We got a French Republic under the leadership of... Is this guy named Chatbot? Is he a Chatbot? Wait a minute. President Adrien de Rohan Chatbot. Interesting. Didn't know they had that back in the day. Oh, and now all of a sudden we actually have the industrialists. Look at the powerless of the Zamindars, which is of course amazing. The industrialists are peaking, and they're going to become very angry very, very soon. But right now, this is neat. This is great. Thank you for all this bonus. John Capitalist has risen up. All right, I need to do this hastily now before we go and, well, lose everything that I hold dear in terms of our prestige right here. You think I can annex Kalat? They wouldn't accept it. Maybe not. We're going to try to annex Kalat. In the hope that we can do this right before we go bankrupt, and then maybe Makran can even help us and not go crazy, and then we have a little bit more land, which is real nice, I gotta tell ya. You want propertied women. I'll give you appointed bureaucrats, okay? That's fine. That's what a sick demand. I hate it. We got so much more important stuff to do, and they're like, well, you know, women's rights. Listen, it's important, but like, we are going bankrupt. It's over for us, okay? They can't own anything if we don't own anything. It doesn't make any sense. All right, and I think I'm just gonna eat the default here until we win. Maybe. Let's just sit on this for like just a second, okay? It's fine. Surely it's okay. Makran, I don't think so, buddy. I hate you. You suck. We'll see about this, okay? Just win this in like 2 seconds. They got nothing on our front line. You love to see it, and then I can immediately go bankrupt, which is kind of the point. Okay, there we go. And I'm no longer bankrupt, which is really funny if you ask me. The CSA formed the Council of Nations. What are you? Are you like Something good. Could I join you? Wait a minute. An ideological union? I don't know. Probably not, but I would like to join that more than any of the other ones, even if they turn me Republican. I mean, nothing wrong with that. I just want to pass this law. It shouldn't be that hard. Now let me check this. Makran is angry, but they got no troops, so it does not matter. I'm going to exempt you from service nonetheless, and then I'm going to support your regime. How are we doing legitimacy-wise? Not that... Okay, and now here, I believe, comes our bankruptcy. Now the big problem is that because of us passing this law, I have a ton of really bad modifiers for us, which might make it so that we're still losing money even after doing this. And now that is not good. That is really bad. Let me put this down. The moment we go into the red again, we basically lose. I'll be honest with you. I really love that this is still happening. This is my favorite graph. I love that so much. It's actually so good. Look, whee! Oh, yeah, look at that. Oh, that sucks. Wow, they really punched unrecognized bankruptcy-going nations in the sucker. That's crazy. That's a bad thing. The turmoil alone is probably gonna take me out behind the shed over and over and over again. I think this is a spiral. I think on the old patch it may not have been a spiral. Like this, I got nothing. I got nothing. Can I, like, shut down a couple more trade routes? I mean, these are so profitable. Oh, I really don't want to, but, like, I'm making 6k loss immediately. That's crazy. I'm gonna retire all of you. Okay, after I retired my general and then Josiah Harlan as well, we're looking okay. Why are you here? What are you doing? What? How much? Yeah, okay. He's not a commander right now, though, is the thing. He doesn't have command. Okay, well, I hate this so bad. If I could have a revolution, I would. And they didn't win. I think they won, like, this part. Is this new? Did he always own this? Well, either way, the Unity League, not looking too hot. And we're back to making money. I am making money. All the time modifiers are gone. Or some of the time modifiers are gone anyway. I'm going to put my taxes down whenever I can. Because this is unsustainable. The turmoil will literally rip my country apart. Currently 49% and nothing I can do about that, pal. These last 580. 586. These are the best Afghanis that I've ever seen. Afghans, oh my god. Persia is actually falling apart. The Kerman Uprising. I assume they're gonna win this, but I also assumed that they would win fast. So let's see how that goes. Yes! Okay. Racial segregation has passed, and apparently I sold a bunch of buildings. That is the only way that I can explain this right here, which is just amazing, because it means I can bring down taxes without worrying about going bankrupt immediately. I'm going to even bring them down a little bit further. Oh, okay, that's too much. Okay, don't worry about it. That's okay. So, we just passed this. We need to pass appointed bureaucrats, which should be okay. I don't know, I make a lot of people unhappy, but without a political movement that cares about this, it doesn't matter. So I'll keep doing it. I don't think they physically can rebel. You know, I will say, I do think it kind of makes sense in the sense that, like, what we have right here is a nonsense nation. We were formed from a nation that was this big, right? It was, which one was it? Was it like this mountain? I think it was this mountain right here. Our politics being volatile and movements not being formed correctly makes a lot of sense considering the fact that we were a non-nation for the longest time. Yeah, it's a small price. I need to bring down these radicals right here. It's just not that, like, this is just not great. This is not good. I'll be honest with you, I think this was a bad change, the bankruptcy change. How is the AI going to navigate this? If I push them into bankruptcy once, isn't that just infinite bankruptcies unless they have a revolution? It really feels that way to me. Like, that's a crazy, crazy level of everything. And by the way, I cannot help you. I will not help you. You are ignored. Good luck. Currently, 10,000 people are dying every year. Unlucky. Okay, and now we're going to produce the first construction sector here entirely so that our dear capitalists can actually build something. Because I will not be building anything manually. And looks like Egypt is actually going to be taken behind the shed very quickly here. Yeah, look at that. Wow, that is nuts. The Ottoman Empire surely isn't going to manage here. Very, very unlikely that they can actually pull this off. Britain is just eating Egypt by 1863, which isn't all that early or late, considering that the Suez Canal should be being built right about now. The liberals are rebelling, and I'm gonna join in on this, if only because I want this trade agreement. I would have loved bankrolling, but neither of us has the tech, I think. I need the trade agreement so that I can trade with you without using up my very beloved bureaucracy. That should make a lot of things easier. They're trying to assassinate me. Reliable sources inform about an internal plot to end the life of Malik Josiah Harlan. If we don't act in time, the stability of the nation will be... What? And who is this guy? Oh, bright newcomer, authoritarian. Yeah, okay, sure. That's kind of funny. All right, what is happening here? Is there a journal entry? Prevent the assassination plot. Please pin this. I don't want my king to die. Abdulazim Kazim, leader of the armed forces, has come to us with an alarming warning. He is accusing the Riots of being the ones planning the assassination of Josiah Harlan. So I'm going to say I like the Riots. I'm going to accuse the armed forces, right? Surely that makes some degree of sense. And there goes Persia, annexing Persia, which hopefully now means that I can go and trade quite a bit with you. Makran wants to increase autonomy. That's not good. Screw you. Stop doing that, okay? It is an interesting question. Who would want to assassinate him out of literally everybody because they hate us? We've prevented it. Assassination stopped. The treacherous intentions of the Zamindars have finally been unveiled. Members of the authorities have found enough evidence to prevent the assassination plot. Legitimacy, that's what I get? You're not even gonna like put a negative on the Zamindar interest group attraction? What the hell, man? So we passed the law, and I'm currently trying to pass total separation, but then I stopped the assassination for him to die a couple months later. And now we have this. What is this? Minoritarian traditionalist? Huh? Oh. Oh. That's interesting. That is way better than what I thought was going to happen with him. He's not a normal traditionalist. Right. He hates women, I can tell you that much, but he likes not having religion in the workplace. Okay. We do now also actually have a liberal movement led by Madali Bahadur, who is of course an authoritarian, which is very, very funny if you ask me. But it means that maybe we can push a couple of things through. There is no conservative, reactionary / whatever movement, meaning I still don't think that the conservatives can rebel. I'm going to use this as much as I can. I'm liberalizing like crazy. We're building a new United States of America. And look at... Hey, wait a minute. Look at you. Empire of Japan. Sadly, they did it with Komei. So Komei he sucks because he's a royalist. He's not nearly as good as getting the actual Meiji restoration. Oh, you know what it is? It's not a bug at all. I understand it now. I actually understand it now. We don't have an absolutist movement, you know, like something, or like a very reactionary movement, because nobody here is our religion. I think once we go total separation, it might form. But like nobody here is actually Hindu, which means none of them go, yeah, I want suppression. Oh, we are benefiting from the fact that we don't actually have Hindus in our borders. Okay, I don't know what it is, but everybody loses to their minority uprisings. Huh? I mean, it's not really a minority uprising, it's Konya, now independent. Are you like exceptionally liberal or something? I don't know, but they lost to it. You saw it, of course, with Persia as well. And now we have an Oman rebellion here in Balochistan. Let's see how that plays out. I'm very, very curious. So it's this right here. We'll figure it out. Okay, there's total separation. Now, let me try to declaw... wait a minute, when can I do interventionism? Right, it's just that it's currently at 0%. Agrarianism, very popular, interesting. I think I'm gonna go crazy because I'm pretty sure, this is just a guess, but I think the Zamindars can physically not rebel. Census suffrage. Let's see. We have, of course, massive support thanks to the liberal movement. I think they're adding the 13% chance right here, right? Yeah, there you go. Liberal movement, that is working just fine. My hope is that we're going to make a lot of people happy here and completely dethrone and declaw the Zamindars, which would be awesome. Of course, it would be terrible for our authority, and since we cannot do anything about our infrastructure, yeah, it will suck for a lot of things. But I would much rather have the Zamindars just demoted forever than really anything else. Alright, and while we are here, let's just clean you up. Let's just take you out behind the shed. It's okay. Okay, that's nice. That was nice and easy. Adds to Baluchistan, and I can only assume will give us, yep, a couple more nationally owned buildings, which is really, really good, because that means that I can sell it and make back that money. Currently, we're not sustainable yet. And you know what? I know it's going to paint a target on my back here for Great Britain. But I think we're going to go in against Sind. Right, come on. Yes, okay, so we are going to have Sind. We're not going to have census suffrage, which really sucks. Like, that is god-awful. We're gonna go with wealth voting. Sure, let's do wealth voting. It's the second best option, and I need some type of option here. And there is Sind. Now, the big question is, do we go and release this, or do I keep it? They are by vast majority Hindu here. How many? Oh, look at all these nationally owned buildings that I can sell. I think I'm gonna keep you. I don't know why I wouldn't, right? How much will it cost me to integrate Baluchistan, by the way? It is already integrated. If I incorporated Sind, that could be so much money. Although, of course, like, this up here is kind of more native to us. How long does this take? Is this one of those, like, 10 years nonsense things? 5 years. I'm gonna integrate all of these. I have to. Okay, buddy. How about you give me Bampur? And after that, you just shut up. Look at how small they are. What an embarrassment. Emir Zulfikar Kaisrani, you're an embarrassment. You should be ashamed. Oh my god. Is it a so much GDP? How did that even happen? He's harboring so much GDP in Makran. I have to take it from him as well. It has to be done. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him. My flag also changed, and we now have wealth voting. Let's take a look. I don't like this election. That's not a good election. That's actually pretty bad. Okay, that's okay. What are we going to do next? I think, now that we know what per capita taxation is, I have to get rid of traditionalism. After we change taxation and traditionalism, I can actually start building, and we will actually be massive. I think the glory years, the glory decades, are right ahead of us. Yes, franchise for farmers, that's what I'm talking about. I need these numbers to kind of like switch position. I think that would be ideal. If that happened, I think I would be a lot happier. The Zamindars still being this powerful despite homesteading. I mean, yes, you know, we have the... Oh, and there they are. The royalists. What do you hate? Yes, they only care about us being a monarchy, which is amazing. Because that means they cannot rebel with the Zamindars. We are gold. We are actually going to reform out of this. So easily. We are going to be successful. Oh, that is... I am seeing the light at the end of the tunnel for sure now. And look at that, Armenia. Oh my god. My god. Anyway, let's take a look at the governing coalition. I want to switch out of traditionalism and agrarianism. Okay, supported by the petite bourgeoisie. Okay, this is great. This is the good stuff. We're gonna go with interventionism. I don't think I'm too keen on agrarianism unless... Wait a minute. You have mercantilism and you do not have a ban on opium. Do I see this correctly? Because that would... Yes. I might want to go with agrarianism. How much opium can I build here? So much opium. Now, the only thing here is, the only issue is that I don't have the convoys to do this. So you know what? I'm going to play it safe. We're going to go with interventionism, I think. Oh, and they are immediately plotting a coup. I don't think that's happening, especially because your name is Durrani. You are like the old rulership. I'm going to kick you out. All right, Hamilton. Oh, he can't marry? Does he need to be 18? That may be true. Okay, let's wait until he's 18. The coup attempt actually immediately fizzled out. Oh my god, this is the best thing that has ever happened to me. We're not only getting everybody to like us, not only are the Zamindars now weaker, the Zamindars kicked their leader and are now a Democrat. Thank god. That is amazing. That is the best turn of events that I could have gotten here. This is better than a market liberal for all I care. We are going to get this done. Look at all of these libcucks. That is crazy. A Democrat, a Democrat, a Democrat, a moderate, a protectionist, and a moderate. My god. This is the Afghanistan of my dreams. Malik Hamilton, a minoritarian traditionalist. He only cares that religion plays no role and that we discriminate against women. What a gentleman. Could it be any better? I really don't feel that it could be. We are in a good spot now. Oh, and what happened here? India is gonna fall apart. I don't know how, but they just became independent. Why do you still exist? I think once they're at peace, they are actually going to be independent and fall apart. That is the luckiest thing I've ever seen. How did that happen? They already were the British Raj. Was there a war where you gave up? Truces against the Great Qing. Was that unironically one of the requirements of the Great Qing War? There is no way. That is amazing for us. So I think, and I would actually have to look this up, so movements only form if they have 2.5% or more support, right? So if there is more than 2.5% of support, they can form. We haven't gotten a single like classic reactionary or aggressive movement. Let's take a look at this right here. At the Persians, let me see here, we don't have a pro-slavery movement, interestingly enough. We did not have an absolutist movement, which they would have rebelled over at this point already. Look at this. Yeah. We didn't get this. And I have to assume that this is because we are Hindu. I believe that this is the case. This is almost, well, no, it is an exploit, practically. We're skipping the movement game for the start because everybody's like, well, I can't support any of this because I'm not really one of the accepted folks. Like, we are all Sunni. So I'm actually like super happy. This reformation is, I think, only possible the way that we did it if you start as Kafiristan. I'll take it. Oh, interventionism unleashed. I have risen, and now I shall rise further by getting rid of the worst taxation law in existence. Per capita taxation. How much more money are we going to make here? You are promising me 12k. That's all I need, baby. They've fallen apart. They've actually done it. I will eat. I will feast. For all of this rightfully belongs to me. And oh my god, they also made Oman independent. This is a messed up world, but I am here for it. How are you doing? They freed Schleswig-Holstein? No, they didn't. Okay, oof. False alarm. False alarm. Didn't happen. Didn't happen. This is the single best democratic party, well, conservative party that you will ever see. What an unhinged... This dude is market liberal. What an incredible piece of luck this is. And speaking of which, you're 19 now. No marriage? What? Oh, and is that the Italians? Is that an actual unification war? Oh my god. And they're actually calling in the French. Content working as designed? Hello? I hope they win and we see an actual Italy. That would be awesome. Look at the votes for the PB. That is what I'm talking about. Let's go. Okay. Yeah, we've done it. Now, in this war, sadly, I'm just gonna annex Macron. Sadly, Travancore was like, I really need to be present for this. What a coalition. I will gladly do this. The conservatives, the liberals, all together to oppose the agrarians. Pfui. We all hate the agrarians. Pass this law. My god, we've been sitting at such a high number for an eternity now. Oh, and I think I can immediately get rid of Baluchistan as well and actually take these two treaty ports. They declared independence of Oman and won. Oh, thank you. Oh, we are positive and I am just on normal taxation. This is the most beautiful country that you will ever see. I need National Guard, just for the record. I need this because then we are prepped for everything going forward. Is there anything more urgent? Maybe migration, but honestly, I don't really think so. I think this is okay. Right of assembly, we could change. A lot of people really hate this. Oh, that's actually not a bad idea. I'm gonna switch for both of those, and obviously we want to go with dedicated police force. It's just better, like straight up, just better. Wait, actually, local police force is better for our purposes right now. So we're gonna focus, before we do anything else, on National Guard and censorship. Let's get those laws in and see where we go from there. Okay, you are not prepared for what I am about to show you, but you have to see it, because I saw it as well. Take note that this Texas, you almost saw it, looks a bit weird. This is maybe the worst best flag that I have seen in a long time. This is essentially European Liberia, European America, whatever you want to say. That is awful. The Lone Star is no longer the Lone Star. This is the Indian Bizarro subcontinent. What I mean is, we now have Hindustan, which is a Sunni Hindustani territory, and we have Hindu Afghanistan. We're going eastwards, they probably want to go westwards. We will meet in the middle somewhere. Alright, and now we will just go on and keep eating. That's the idea anyway. Let's see how it goes. I would like to first go along the coastline, so that then subsequently all of this is open to only us. If they claim any of this on the east, I can't really do much about this. The big question for me is as well, should we go and incorporate this stuff? They are Hindu. But I'm not sure that I can handle this with bureaucracy right now. I think I have to do this bit by bit. For the time being, I just love having their economy. So I think if we were to pass censorship right now, we would probably possibly see a liberal movement revolution. I am not that interested in this. I think right of assembly is okay. I don't think the bonuses that we get here really matter to us too much. Should I pass anything else? That is the big question right now. We could open this up again. I don't think that's necessarily bad. We could go with protectionism, which would further strengthen, I believe, the petite bourgeoisie, right? So, yeah, let's push the petite bourgeoisie here. All right, let's take a look at this, by the way. Where are they standing in terms of discrimination? Basically nowhere. Sharing a heritage cultural trait, South Asian heritage, makes it so that with racial segregation, we are golden, which also keeps the Paristani supremacists happy because it is more restrictive than cultural, whatever it is, right? Except there's no difference for us. So we're just going to pick up more and more full accepted pops. I might integrate, so incorporate them, but again, it's like a massive, massive piece of land. What is this? You are incorporated, U56. That's not crazy, but of course it's going to make our institutions worse. I want some better tech for bureaucracy, and then we might do it here. I like the taxation. We're going to see what we can pull off. And that is what happens if your economy is warfare-based. We really, why aren't we doing that today anymore? Look at this graph compared to everything before. The good decades, my friend. The best part, and I'm dead serious about this is amazing. The best part about taking over these small states is that they own a lot of buildings themselves, which I can just sell. We have steady income for doing absolutely nothing. I want to thank the British for building this stuff up. I'm going to sell it all to stay afloat. And there's protectionism. Very, very nice. We are now making a ton of money. I mean, I'm just not building. That's really what it is. I'm going to just make sure to fill kind of, whatever we got going on there in terms of issues. And obviously I have to build it in locations that actually have infrastructures. We did now invent trains, but I do not have any steel mills yet. I think, yeah, 0 steel mills. So we got to build that up. And they don't actually have that many working people. Oh God, Gujarat, you're in it. What is that? That is awful. You already got railways. Oh no. This is a really odd playthrough because for the very first time in a long time, I just do not care about the shortages. I think their penalties are not bad enough to hinder me in anything that I want to do. You can see that I'm just waiting for the infamy to go down. I'm way overbuilding. Technically, we're losing a ton of money, but every time I conquer, I get more buildings that I can then sell. So, our economy is now doing really well. Our people living a good life. The only issue is that Gujarat, for some reason, they way overbuilt. Maybe it is like the AI. I'm not certain. It doesn't really matter. What we're doing here, of course, has a purpose. We're going out of our way to keep blobbing into India. Oh, and almost unbeknownst to me, we have become a major unrecognized power, which now means technically we can go towards earning recognition. Now, let me check this. I haven't abolished slavery. Our GDP per capita won't go up because I'm conquering India. I'm sorry. It's not happening. I don't think we're going to be able to do it in the classic way. I think I have to destroy a great power, and let's be honest, it will have to be Russia. I think so. I did get rid of all of those, which is great. If I do abolish slavery, that goes away as well. Literacy is looking okay. Okay, well, we might be able to pull this off either way. We're not looking that bad, actually. If I just get rid of abolished slavery and then get an embassy, maybe we can even do it peacefully. Let's just make sure that we can get this done. I need to declare another rival just so that the infamy goes down quickly enough. I don't know. I have a good feeling about this. I think we can even do this without war. Right. Now, looking at this, I'll be honest with you. I'm not sure which law I would want to pass next. Maybe we're going towards census suffrage after all, but right now I think we're golden. I do not need colonies. Don't care about it at all. I think we are perfect where we are. Maybe I would want to switch towards secret police, but it's just going to make a lot of people angry, so let's forget about this. I want to level this up, and after that, we will consider integrating all of our beautiful, beautiful Indian possessions. I love, by the way, that we just cannot form Pakistan. We cannot form India, but I can form Turkestan. Maybe. I doubt it, though. I don't see this happen. I'd like to get rid of slavery. 100%. Which means I need somebody in charge that wants to get rid of slavery, which I'm pretty sure is only the intelligentsia. I'm gonna pass this. And you know what? I was just looking over, I was looking at my Discord, and they were like, hey, could it be that assimilation is a bit overtuned this patch? And I went to the cultures, and oh my god. What? I'm getting the feeling. It's a bit overtuned, yeah. I really think that that is very fair to say. Now, just looking at this, we just had another election. The Free Trade Party and the Liberal Party are now in charge, and they are, I mean, this is just amazing. Look at them. I don't think we need population growth, so this is probably fine. I am going to go, oh, and we could go with this even. No, I'm going to go with laissez-faire. This is going to make a couple of people unhappy, that's fine. I want the ultimate growth. We're going to take the growth pill. And oh no, folks, it happened. The French are coming. I hope the British can protect me. I think they got the bigger fleet, right? Surely you have the bigger fleet. Yes, they do. Okay. I'm just going to sit this one out and hope we can just get away with this. That would be really nice. I'm currently just sitting here. I didn't actually go and, like, even get anybody to be raised. So they're all just sitting there, non-mobilized. Just stay home, France, okay? I don't know what Britain is doing. I have to hope that Britain isn't going to, like, dip out early and because of that screwing me over. I'm just gonna sit here. It's okay. Okay, actually, I noticed that they don't have a fleet or an army here. By occupying that, I can theoretically get them to surrender. I hope it's going to work out. Man, and this was perfect timing. We just finished our first ammunition plant. Big fan. I think that's going to make fighting a lot easier. Folks, I actually have to disappoint you to a degree here, I think, because we are neither forming Turkestan, nor did I even show you how we became recognized, because it just kind of happened. We were in a very stable position, and I just kept going into small wars here against the Indian miners. A couple of people kept joining, and, well, war reparations, and bit by bit we got there. It wasn't exciting, it wasn't something to talk about, but what is something to talk about is the fact that Afghanistan/Paristan, if you are under the leadership of the Harlans, is basically just a worse India. So hear me out here. I thought about forming, like I said, of course, Turkestan. If we did this, though, we would lose something super important. Take a look at this, right? As you can see right here, Central Asian heritage, Central Asian, Central Asian, Central Asian, and Central Asian. It is a singular culture that makes me accept everybody in India if we are on racial segregation. And that is Chitrali, because they are South Asian heritage, whereas on the other hand, Tajik right here, Central, and then Central. So if you form Turkestan, you are just a worse version of yourself before, you know, what you were before that, because Afghanistan as it is capable of actually absorbing all of the Indians. Which means us being Hindu and then Chitrali makes it so that, yeah, everybody just ends up at full acceptance. It also, of course, makes it so that we can relatively quickly actually incorporate these. And I'll be honest with you, right now, we are essentially like China or India. We are invincible. We can infinitely build. We can do whatever the hell we want. Just look at this. I mean, what do you want me to say, right? I love this playthrough because it is unique, because it is fun. However, this is also game over, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to beat the hell out of the Sikhs right here, and then we're going to beat the hell out of the Russians. I made sure to actually research trench infantry right here. Let's make good borders, and then let's beat up the Russians just because we can. Yeah, this is not going to be that big of an issue. I'm going to conquer the entire thing just because I think it does make for significantly better borders. Let's hope that they don't give in here. And Austria, by the way, is our ally. They really liked us. They helped us as well with embassies. Hey, what can I say? Things went a lot easier here. And by the way, even though I integrated, so I incorporated more and more territory here, obviously this doesn't count just yet, but even this territory right here, I think Rajasthan is already incorporated, we never dropped below 40% literacy. It's insane. It makes us infinite money. It is what it is. This is what you do when you play India. And see, I can now go from normal taxes to high taxes, and we will still be fine. This is playing India. Can you imagine that? Incorporating all this territory, and then they just suck. Now, just for the record, my makeup here didn't actually really change. Take a look at this. The petite bourgeoisie is dominating, of course, together with the riots. I assume that this is largely happening because Rajasthan is very rural. These are the folks running the subsistence farms, after all. Other than that, I mean, yeah, you know, interesting stuff. We have an interesting makeup, but we are basically Indian. In all but name. Yeah, and there comes the artillery. There comes the trench infantry. Obviously, we are going to completely trash them, and we're still making money. That is what happens when you play a country that isn't really meant to be a real country, and by that I mean any country like China, like India, with infinite population. Yeah, you are going to excel, and quite frankly, again, like I said, we aren't even in a position where I tryharded or where we started as India. This just happens when you start incorporating all the Indians. We can run a full war budget as long as I'm not building. We're still making money. So I guess we're doing that. I guess that's fine. I am still going here, just for the record, for defense in depth. So wargaming, of course, for the army offense right here, and then defense in depth with the hope that I can get siege artillery. Oh, actually, siege artillery requires radio. I definitely do not know what radios are, so you know what, we're not going to do this. I'm also very confused. I didn't know that they could do this, but I don't know what electricity is, but the Prussians do. They aren't building anything right now, but let me double check this here. They really, yeah, they liked building. Look at this. They built it everywhere in my entire country. I'm not saying no to this, but that's pretty interesting, because that means that you never have to research this. Just get an investment pact and boom, you get that everywhere. All right, anyway, let's do what matters. I have 220 troops. I believe we are better than them, though. Let me just verify this real quick, right? What do you got running around here? Infantry, okay, we got, doesn't want to show itself. There it is, skirmish infantry. We should be better off, especially with the Austrians also coming in against them. Oh, you're already in... Jesus Christ, what the hell are you guys doing? Mobilize the mega army. Send them on their way. I don't have that much artillery, which is definitely our drawback here. They will not reach us, I don't think, with a navy. Our navy is still being built up, but I think we'll be doing okay. I'm going to call in Austria, and hopefully that's going to settle it. Hopefully that's going to be the end of it. Even Mexico actually wants to come in. Oh, look at that, yes. Sway with independence, absolutely. All right, let's see. What do the Austrians want? If I can give them something cool, I will do it. I don't like regime change. Call ally. It's an ally. Boom, there you go. Classic stuff. Yeah, if I want to free more stuff, we'll have to set more interests. See, honestly, I find it so stupid. I'm gonna split this country if I can. Can I literally do this? So Kazakhstan is like somewhere here, right? What else you got? You could theoretically free Idel Ural. Is Kazakhstan not present there? Okay, whatever. We're gonna free... I think we only need these two. Ural and Khanty-Mansi. I am going to split Russia. Why? I don't know. No reason. Just because I can. No, damn. The Russians aren't sending anything to me. Which I guess is not that bad a plan. Oh, right. Italy is in on this. Austria... Thank you for your service. I appreciate this. That is commitment. Big shout out to Austria, my boy. I'm gonna destroy Russia. Yep. I think they're moving over now. Yeah, look at that. Oh my god, they're pulling off so many troops now. I will take this. Thank you. Yes. I was really hoping we could like move this front line like by a ton so that they can never arrive. You know, the classic frontline bug, but no such luck. We are winning these battles, so things are looking up. It's just obviously there's a lot coming our way. Like, Jesus Christ, that is a lot of troops. We'll see how this goes, okay? Not looking too good, I'll be honest with you. Yeah, you're dead, kid. You're gonna die, buddy. Oh boy. I believe we are basically massacring them. I am also now raising a ton of conscripts. Because that is what you do, giving us a really, really good pathway here, since we now have a lot of artillery as well. We're going to capitulate them. We're going to get that done. Absolutely. And admittedly, they are holding over here. Oh, what the hell is a Venetian uprising? Oh no, they are South German Catholic. Well, Austria was holding until that uprising. Good luck. Look at that stuff. We incorporated all of the states now. It is done. We still haven't dropped below 40% in literacy. We're doing great. Our GDP... We're India. What do you want to say? We are India, but led by an American. I'm sorry, but this is amazing. Look at this. I am also doing a naval invasion, but just look at these numbers. That is disgusting. Just horrendous. Oh, you love seeing it. You love seeing it. Finland must have gone bankrupt like 15 times. I do wonder whether the Russians are close to going bankrupt. I'm not certain, but I gotta be honest with you, Tsar Nikolai, this is not boding well for you. This is a bad emperor. Man, look at that pocket, huh? Nice pocket. Nice pocket. What a pocket, folks. Oh, and I think this is it. I was hoping we could go all the way for St. Petersburg, but just having the actual territories here obviously makes it so that, yeah, this is over. And thank God it is over. This was expensive. Totally worth it. Let's take a look at your population graph. Oops. Sorry about that, buddy. And there is the peace deal. Oh, gorgeous. How are we doing here? We're positive again. Look at that. We have split Russia in the most insane, completely nonsensical move. I have decided that inferior India, that is us, shall have a passage to the Arctic. This is important. The Arctic corridor for us here plays a huge role in our geostrategic ambitions. Folks, this was fun. I had a great time. Let me know what you think I should play. And hey, if you enjoyed this, make sure to leave a like. I'll see you later, alligator.